Hello everyone, welcome back on my channel guys. I'm Ramkesh Singh, Unity game developer, YouTuber and blogger. In this tutorial we are going to explore about Fusion 2 VR multiplayer. Yes, I was getting lots of requests on VR multiplayer with the Fusion 2. So this is going to be a first part where I will explain the basic stuff. In the future I will do much more advanced like with the character, with the final IK. So there are so many stuff to come. So don't worry about it. And here is my Patreon page if you want to support my work. So just you can get any sample from here. It is a minimum purchase, or you can purchase according to your, or you want to if you don't want to purchase anything, so just you can directly support here to joining my Patreon page. So thanks, and let's start the today video. In the Fusion 2, what happens, they have provided the industry circle. You can see there are lots of industry circle, and they have provided the basic stuff and samples. So here is one, that is the VR host and share. Basically we are going to talk about VR because we are much more familiar in the VR, and also we will talk about much more about the VR 200 gaming stuff. So I love the multiplayer stuff and I love the Fusion 2. So slowly I'm just becoming the expert. I'm not fully confident, but yeah, slowly I'm understanding and learning, and I'm sharing whatever I am learning here. First I will explore VR host, and then I will share VR shared in the second part, and after that we will learn that how we can integrate the character with these samples. So everything is going to come here. So let's start the today video. If you're new on the channel, make sure subscribe the channel, make sure you have login here. What you can do, you can just go on the VR host, and on VR host basically you have to just download this one. So whenever you are getting download, after that you have to open this sample, and I am already opened here. I'm going to make you understand that what happening here and what are the flow and what you have to understand, what you have to learn. If you are visiting first time me, I am expecting that you have follow my this playlist, because this playlist is a basic, like this is for means three parts are basic. Like here you can see there is two playlists, share mode and host mode. So these are the basic of Fusion 2. If you are going to advanced stuff, so you must have follow this one so that you can understand what I'm saying to you. Okay, so please check it out, this two playlist one by one, and then you can come on any advanced topic, then you will understand what I'm trying to make you understand. And these samples are also available on my Patreon page, so you can just go and check out provided source code so that you get to play very easily. You just watch the tutorial, you just explore this two sample project multiplayer. So here you can see I have created in host mode. So basically when I play here, so here you can see here this is I am, and here this is my opposite player. So here you can see whatever we are doing, it is getting sync here. It is not exactly same syncing because video timing was different, but you can see that I am able to see my opponent whatever he is doing. Here you can see it is also available for grabbing, you can just grab the things. So in this video what I am going to make you understand that what are the things they have done and what you have to understand so that you can use the Fusion 2. And it is a really great, but what happened is just they have provide industry circle, gaming circle. These are membership is very expensive, means you have to take on at least 3 months of membership. So main thing we have to understand, like here you can see this is my device and this is another player device. Okay, and what they have done, they have done the hardware stuff, you can say hardware, and then they are saying that it is the work rig. Here is network rig. You can see that this is the hardware. So what happening is just hardware, you can say it is the rig. So basically what they are doing locally, means when we talk about locally, okay, let's suppose this is my device. So locally what happens, it take the left hand right hand head data to network rig, and network rig what is doing on the remote, let's suppose it is remote device. On remote device network rig is getting sync, like whatever it is moving or whatever it is doing, so it is getting sync on the network rig, and network rig is just sending data to remote player, means same player data receiving here on the remote. So here is only network rig, and same thing happening here. Like what happening here is, let's suppose here is network, means in the remote player device what's happening I'm sharing. So it is network rig and here is the hardware rig. Okay, and it is giving data to this, and this is getting sync here. These are the two player, that is one player and that is another player. Okay, so this is the flow you have to understand, and let me show you what's happening in the sample. So here you can see first thing what comes. So first thing comes about the how you are creating the connection. So here you can see we get by default this script, and here is auto host or client. So you can directly use, basically what happens, you have to not create separate button. Basically if room is created, so you will join. If room is not created, so you will create the room, and here is the room name. It is not that much thing, and this will be assigned at a runtime. And here is the prefab. So here you can see this is the prefab, and this is the prefab means this player will be instantiate. So whenever I am opening, so here you can see this is the player, and on this player you can see network transform. Basically network transform help us to transfer the data on the network, but I have noticed that it happens from host to, if you are in the host mode. So what happening, if you have added here, so basically when you will join as a host and when you join as a client, so client will able to see all the host work. But if client have this network transform, so you will not able, as a host you will not able to see anything. So for this you have to write the custom script, and here is the network transform, here is the network rig. So network rig is helping, so this is the network rig, this is helping to transfer the data and receive the data. So basically it is receiving the data from hardware rig. I will explain everything, so don't worry about it. And here is the network object. So basically network object is one entity that identify that this is the network object. So whenever you are creating any player, so it is compulsory to add network object. Basically it create the identity on the network. And here is the, so here is the basic stuff, and here is the hardware headset. So basically here we have also added network transform and network headset, so that is not that much. And on the left half they have also added the network transform, means whatever they want to sync, so they have added the network transform and network hand, network grabber. So basically you can open this script and explore, but I'm just explaining the basic flow that what they have used. On the right hand they have also used the network transform and network hand, network grabber. Basically this grabber help us to just grab any object. Script is here, that is the network rig. So I will open and explore, but first let me explain. You have to always remember this model, whatever I am trying to make you understand. So I explain to you network rig. I will open the script, I will make you understand, but first let me explain hardware rig, how we are getting this data to this data. So first let me explain hardware rig. So basically hardware rig, how it works, it is in the system. So they have created two rig, that is the desktop. Whenever I will join, so it will ask that I am joining the desktop or hardware rig. So let me show you that how it is working. I think I have choose the VR, it will not ask, but whenever I am going here, player preps, clear all preps, then it will ask. So let me run. Here it is asking VR or desktop. So if I am choosing the desktop, so it will start the desktop rig, and in desktop you will have to use WASD to move. And if I am choosing the VR, so it will choose the hardware rig. So let me show you. On the desktop it choose the desktop, and in this I am able to move. Okay, and one very important thing, that whenever you get the samples, so what you have to do, you have to go on the dashboard. That's why I'm saying that if you have follow my tutorials this, so you know very well. So what you have to do, you have to go on the dashboard. On dashboard you have to create your application, and from there to get a key, and that key you have to paste in the tools fusion hub here. So here you can see I have this ID. So if you are not using the ID, it will not connect. You can see this choose the desktop, and let me delete again, and let me show you that if I'm running again, so it is asking for, so let me choose the VR. So in VR you can see we get the hardware rig. So let me show you that what we are getting in hardware rig. We are just instantiated as a player. So here you can see, so currently here is our player. Basically we are not using any VR device, so it is not showing here. So on hardware rig, you can see hardware rig is a very important script. What it is doing, it is sending left hand, right hand and main camera data network. So how it is sending, I will explain to you, and if you have follow my tutorials, so you know very well, but I will explain. There is not that much important script, that is the hardware hand, a beamer. So basically these things are useful if you are going to grab thing, so you can explore the grab thing in the future. Maybe I create the video. Firstly we are just instantiating player and we are able to see left hand, right hand and head. So these are the basic script. So important script is hardware rig. Okay, and here they have also done the locomotion system, but first let me explain hardware rig. So let me open and let me show you that how it's sending the data. We are in the host mode, and in my tutorial I explained to you, in host mode if you want to sync the data, so what you have to do, you have to create this rig input. You can ask that we have added the network transform, so why we need to send the data manually. I explained to you, they have not written anywhere, but what I have experienced, that if you have added network transform, so it is working from host to client, but client is not getting sync. So I think this is the reason they have used. Here you can see player area position. Here is the player area position, player area rotation. Here you can see this is the struct class, and they have inherit iNetwork input, and these are the things they want to sync, like player position, rotation, left hand position, left hand rotation, left hand position, left hand rotation, headset position, headset rotation. So these are the things we want to sync. Okay, so basically whatever you want to sync on the network, so you have to create here, and basically it is the struct class. And as I explained to you, that hardware is sending data to network rig. So how it is sending? So basically it create the struct class, and here is the left hand, right hand, headset, runner. So basically these are the reference, these are the value we want to send, and you have to always remember that whenever you want to do, so at that time you have to use find runner. In my tutorial I explained that network runner is heart of Fusion 2. So basically it try to get the network runner, and after getting the network runner start method, so basically you have to always use this. And if you want to send the data, so it is important that runner dot add callbacks. So basically this help us to detect the callback, because here you can see we have used the mono behavior, we are using the iNetwork runner callback. So if you don't want to use this thing, so at that time you have to use the simulation, or there is another thing I'm not able to remember, so that thing you have to always use. But if you are using the mono behavior and iNetwork runner, so it is compulsory to use this on start, and on the destroy you have to use this remove callback. If you are not going to do this, so any other callback will be not called. So this is the very important thing, very important thing, because I was missing this thing, and due to this I was not able to transfer my data. So it is compulsory that you remember this thing. Okay, great. So this is the method, and after that I told you that if you are creating this class, if you want to send the data, so we want to send this data. So where we want to send data, so we have to search for on input. Here you can see we got on input. So here is the rig input, basically that is the struct class, and here we are creating the object, and then on rig input, basically this is the container rig input, and in that container we are just pushing all the data like transform.position, transform.rotation. Basically this is the position of rig. They want to fill the container with left hand, right hand. So basically here is the user interpolation. So if we want interpolation, so at that time we are using this thing, and if we don't want, basically it is a boolean value. You can see here it is a boolean value. If you want interpolation, so this data will be transferred. If you don't want, so this data will be transferred. So it's depend on your requirement, and this is the thing for the grabbing the stuff. And here is the input dot set and rig input. So basically input, basically this is the input, network input, and set, and then rig input. Basically we are sending this object all the data here. Where we are sending the data, so basically you understand that how it is sending the data. Okay, you understand very well that how it is sending the data. Okay, now it is turned to how we are receiving data here. For receiving data, I told you that on the network rig, so here is connection manager, and here is SNIG, and here when you are opening here, so I told you that this is the important script, network rig. So basically open this script. Here you can see this is the network rig, this is the hardware rig, left hand, right hand. So basically this is the left hand, right hand headset. So basically there is a main component we have added like headset, right hand, left hand, so that we can apply those values here. Okay, great. So basically you can see that this is the network transform, there is no worry about it. And here you can see whenever we are instantiating and want to start some action, so you have to always use spawned. Basically this is the callback, it called when your character get spawned, and you cannot do in the start because that is not reliable, you can say. And I told you that whenever you send any data on input, so that thing we have to receive in on fixed update network. So this is the fixed update network, and here you can see how you can get the data. So get input, and here you have to pass T, you can call, or whatever struct you want to get. So it is rig input, this container we want, out where input. Okay, so basically in this input we are getting data. So what I'm doing, this is the transform dot position. So we are getting player area position, player area rotation, left hand. So this is the network rig, and this is the data we are getting from the hardware rig. Okay, so you can call that this is the running on the local player as well as it is running on the remote player. If you want to do remote player a very fast way, so you can see override void render, it is also a callback. So here you can see is local network rig. So if it is local network rig, like if it is locally, so what you can do, you don't want to wait anything. So that's why what it is doing, it is just getting data directly hardware rig to network rig. What you need a reference in hardware rig of in network rig. So basically we have the network rig, we have hardware rig reference on network rig. So for locally we are just updating value here directly. Okay, here you can see we are checking here. So we have just applied here, we don't want to wait on the network. But on the other player, like here on the network rig, we don't have hardware reference because this is the hardware. So what we are doing, we are just sending on input, and we are receiving in the on a fixed update network, and then apply the value here. Okay, so this is the basic workflow, and let me show you the connection stuff so that you get much more clarity. So basic stuff is that like hardware rig and whatever I explained to you, that how it is sending the data, how it is receiving the data. So this is the thing. And second thing I want to share with you a very basic, that is the connection manager. So let me walk through you. This runner and then get component runner. It is also a very important thing. Runner provide input. So if you want to send data, so it is should be true. So this is also a thing that you have to remember, and I explained to you in other script that callback is also a very important thing. So all the connection properties, network, current scene info, basically it is related to scene. And if you have follow my tutorials, so you know very well that what are this thing. And here you can see that is the on player joined. So whenever player is joining, so this thing is calling. Basically we are checking the topology, it is client server or it is other. So it is client server. In the host mode we check the client server. Okay, so whenever terms come server, so it is host. And here you can see this is for the share mode, but we will explore separately share mode, so don't worry about it. And whenever player is getting left, so on player left host mode, so here you can see it is getting called. So there is not that much thing I explained to you, and this is related to share mode, so we don't need this. Hope you understand, hope you enjoy the tutorial, hope you enjoy the video. And in next part we will talk about the share mode, and then we will talk about how we can indicate the character with the final IK. So I think first I will have to do final IK tutorial, so that I have to not make you much more understand. So see you next video, and if you enjoy the video, please like the video because it really inspire me to do much more tutorials. And you can subscribe the channel, and you can support me on my Patreon page. So thanks for watching, have a good day, see you in next video, bye bye, take care.